worthy of wearing it yet, so I decided to put it back on an armor stand and put my iron armor on, and then I went back out to my farm to do some more work on it. I knew that if I wanted to go any further, I would need to breed my cows for an enchantment table, but on the way back to my base, something unimaginable happened. A new foe had appeared outside my base in the river. I knew that I had to take care of it. I got my bow and arrow and I took a brief moment in my base to realize what I was about to get myself into. A battle. Then the time came. I take aim and took them out one by one. They dropped some loot and some valuables, so I went into the river to collect that. But in return of winning this battle, I was given a curse. Before I knew it, it was day 21. I decided to do some more building in my base and it was a really chillax day. I used my bedroom as an opportunity to show off my valuables, using blocks of lapis, redstone, iron, and gold. It was day 22, and I decided to go and breed all of my cows and get ready to get rid of them for all of their leather. It was time to prepare the enchantment table. I went back to my base and decided to craft up some bookshelves. This would be needed for the enchanting room. For day 24, I realized I needed a place for this enchantment table. I couldn't just place it anywhere and I needed some space for the bookshelves, so I decided to build a whole entire room for it. I even made a room for things such as smokers and blast furnaces to speed up things like smelting. I also took the opportunity at the end of day 24 to build a massive mine all the way down to diamond level. It was day 25 and I set up the bookshelves and got ready for the enchantment table. I built it by placing my 2 diamonds, 4 obsidian and 1 book in there. It was ready to be planted, and there it was. I did some extra decorating to the place and it ended up looking pretty nice. The first thing I decided to enchant was my diamond pickaxe. And I got the best enchants I could have possibly asked for. The sword not so much. It took a few attempts, but I got there in the end with a decent enchant I was happy with. I then realized it was time to enter the nether. I needed more XP and I needed it pretty fast, so I went deep into the nether to try and get some quartz and XP. Luckily for me, the fortress was really close by, but I needed to find some piglins. These would become useful for trading. So that was it. I trapped a piglin and tossed him a bunch of gold. He done some really good trades and I ended up getting around about 16 Eye of Enders. I then went to explore in the fortress, going past withers and also some blazes for some blaze powder. For most of the days in day 31 onwards, I decided that it would be best to make the Eye of Enders, make an ender chest, and even get some more XP for enchanting. I also got some glowstone because this could be used to decorate my base and light it up a little bit more. I pretty much spent day 31 all the way to 40 pretty much going for XP. After enchanting most of my armor, it was getting closer to the moment that I was scared for. The Ender Dragon fight. Although I knew I was going to be prepared, it was still a worry, because one wrong move with the Ender Dragon and it's all over. By day 38 I was fully enchanted up, and day 39 I pretty much spent doing some decorating around my base and getting some phantom membranes. I could use phantom membranes for potions of slow falling, which would be useful for the end. I also went collecting arrows. By day 40 I went exploring. At first my adventure was quiet, until this happened, a village. I found some friendly villagers which allowed me to do trades. It took a while, but I was able to get a mending book, something which was a game changer for the future of this world. So I spent day 41 pretty much waiting until all the villagers were ready to trade. I then went with my sticks and got a bunch of emeralds, which ultimately meant I could go back to the librarian and purchase one of his mending books. It was day 44. I was able to put mending on my pickaxe and rename it. Day 45, Ender Dragon preparation was well underway, making potions of strength and also slow falling. I did brewing for quite a while. I wanted to over-prepare as much as possible for the Ender Dragon fight, just in case anything was to go wrong. Day 46, I did some last preparations for the Ender Dragon fight, going out to find some apples. The reason I got apples is to ultimately make golden apples, something which would be very useful for the end fight. Here it was, day 47. I walked around my base and gave it one last look, and I said goodbye, because it may be the last time I ever see this again. I gave everything one last glance, even my cows. To end off day 47, I got some rest. The next day was a massive day, the Ender Dragon fight. Day 48, I checked through my inventory and made sure I had everything I would need for the Ender Dragon fight. One wrong move here and everything could be all over. Everything I've worked hard for so far. But that didn't stop me. I threw my Eyes of Ender in the air and I was ready to go exploring. At one point I had to set sail across the ocean. It wasn't ideal, but it had to be done. Finding this stronghold took multiple days. In fact, the Eyes of Ender were pointing me in every direction possible, until I came too close that the Eye of Ender couldn't go anywhere else apart from directly above the stronghold. I dug straight down, and here it was, For day 52, I pretty much spent that day exploring the stronghold and was able to come out with some pretty good books. And then it was time. I prepared the end portal, and everything was beginning to seem real. I drank both of my potions, and there was no turning back now. I entered the portal calmly and went up to the Ender Dragon fight. This was it. At first, my aim felt a bit weird, but as the battle progressed, I became more and more confident. My aim was incredible. Most of my shots were accurate, but the Ender Dragon was too fast for me. I had to get rid of the end crystals before it was too late. All my bow shots were pretty accurate until the end. I had a massive struggle trying to get one of them. I fired my bow and there it was, the final end crystal. I glanced around and there was no more to be destroyed. It was time for the Ender Dragon fight itself. The Ender Dragon was quick but not quick enough. In fact, I was able to get a small glass of its dragon breath. It came down to the middle and I attacked its tail. This was the easiest way I was going to get rid of this. Luckily for me, it came down again and I was able to finish off the battle. There it was, the Ender Dragon, disintegrating in front of my eyes. I felt victorious. I grabbed the egg, and look at that smile on my face. I was happy, but not happy enough. I needed elytras. I went into the end city and looked around. After a while of exploring, I found one, and I was scared it didn't have a boat, until I glanced over to the left, and there it was, the end ship. This contains an elytra which would change the whole way I could move around in this game. I swung my pickaxe and got entry under the boat. I was able to take the elytras and also some valuables in the chests. I equipped the elytras and debated whether I should leave the end city, but no, I needed to loot it. The shulker boxes that were in the end city were too good to pass by, but after that, I then decided to head home. There it was, day 66, I had the Ender Dragon head. I placed it on an armor stand and gave it some clothes. Day 67, I used that time to enchant some more and got a sword. And day 68, well, I had elytras, and I got a bit too excited. From day 69 to 74, this was my time to build. I had a bunch of creativity that I need to let out, so I built a bridge from my house all the way to the farm island. I also built a bit of a better house for the cows and some cool pathways. I also made space for a potato farm and also a wheat farm. And also, because enemy creatures were able to get on my island, I built a massive wall surrounding it. And there it was. By day 74, I was really happy with my base, the outside and the inside. I pretty much had everything I need, but I wasn't finished yet. I had two other goals to get done, the netherite and also the wither. These weren't going to be easy, so I got to work. Well, now was the time for me to prepare for my next goal, and that would be the wither battle. So to start day 75, I went through and enchanted a sword to try and get looting, because to get wither heads, you need really good luck or you need a really good sword. After using plenty of XP and lapis, I was able to get a looting too, but it wasn't good enough. But I had to deal with it. Being only level 28, I wasn't able to do another level 30 enchant, so I decided to go into the nether with a looting 2 and test my luck. As I entered the nether portal, I went straight to the fortress and was able to pick up my first witherhead pretty quickly, but between days 77 and 84, I spent a very, very long time attempting to get all of the witherheads. I battled plenty of angry withers and was getting unlucky every single time. This left me with only one thing to do. After exploring the fortress and realizing this looting 2 wasn't going to cut it anymore, I went back to do some more enchanting. Seeing as all I had to do was get 2 looting 2s to combine to a looting 3, and then combine the 2 looting 2s to make a looting 3, that's what I did. I got to level 14 and was just about able to do the upgrade. I now had a looting 3 sword at my disposal. And from there on, it seemed like the withers didn't want to stop dropping the witherheads. I got all of the witherheads I needed really, really fast, but I wasn't done with the nether yet. Between days 91 and 97, I decided to go for netherite. I thought maybe if I could get a netherite sword, the wither battle would be easier, so I tried to get as much netherite as I could. Seeing as I was tight for time, I was only able to get a certain amount. That certain amount being 8 pieces of ancient debris. With 8 pieces of ancient debris, you're able to make 2 pieces of netherite ingots, which was good enough for a pickaxe upgrade and a sword upgrade. I was debating whether I should upgrade my armor, but I realized pretty quickly it was way better to upgrade my pickaxe and sword, seeing as these had decent enchants. Before I knew it, it was day 99. I spent this day preparing for the Wither fight. I was able to get hold of some strength potions I had from the Ender Dragon fight left over, made some arrows, and I was ready to go. I dug in one straight line, drunk my strength potion, and I was ready to go. All I had to do was place the last Witherhead. And there it was. The Witherhead was placed, and it was spawned. If anything was to go wrong, not only would I be out of the game, but the Wither also has explosive projectiles, meaning if it was to get up to my base, the whole entire island that I had would be gone. But thankfully, I had the effects of the strength too keeping me going, and the Wither was out the game before I knew it. And there it was. The Nether Star was gripped in my hands, so I went straight back to my base to craft it into a beacon. I placed the Nether Star right in the center of the crafting bench, and there it was. I placed the beacon in my inventory, and it was day 100. To finish off day 100, I put my beacon on my island, equipped speed to it, and that was it. I stood on my bridge and gazed at the sun. That was it. The 100 days survived. On hardcore. All in one life. To be honest, there's a bunch more stuff I want to get done, so if you guys...
Alright, well, the moment we've all been waiting for. It really may not look like much, but I've gone through hell to get it all. We've got the 160...
Hey, my mans, how's it going? This is a deadly island. I added a ton of mods. There's these swamps that are just full of vicious piranhas. Look at this. There's like an alligator or something. This thing. Ooh. Bloodthirsty great white sharks that swim all around the coast. Yeah, rattlesnakes. You don't want to step on a guy like this. Not to mention the storms. Oh my god, the tornadoes. Okay, these things touch down and rip the island apart. And there's a giant volcano that's ready to erupt at any moment. The locals call this island Isla Ungabunga. And I'm going to Isla 100 Isla Gold Painter. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful tropical island with a big volcano, a bunch of caves, mysteries, secrets, all sorts of stuff. It's good. And I know what you're thinking. I don't know where any of this stuff is, okay? I auto-generated all the resources and caves and everything, so I don't know where diamonds are, I don't know where coal is, I don't know where any of that stuff is. This world's available for download on my Patreon, so it's a way for me to give you something for supporting me. Well, I really appreciate it. You guys are crazy, you know? I've listed all the mods and linked to them in the video description, so if you want to download them for yourself and play on the permission channel, wow, that would make a man like me very idea. Hey, and one last thing for giving a man like me permission to put a twist on his original idea. Hey, and one last thing, if you want to subscribe to my channel, wow, that would make a man like me very happy. I'm so close to 1 million subscribers. That would be crazy, you know? And hey, if you want to leave a comment saying something like, wow, I completely support your decision on day 8, and it was not your fault on day 62. That would be a very nice.
This is supposed to be. Oh, what the? These guys are shooting me.
Yeah, wow, that's good. You know, all I wanted was a nice deserted island for me to enjoy. You know, no other people. And first thing I see is a nice pack of men, a bunch of them, and these guys almost smoked me too. First 15 seconds of the game, and I'm almost dead. I guess these guys are hunters or something like that. They must be here hunting the beautiful wildlife. And look at this, I found like an eagle right away.
Oh, look at this. A harpy eagle. Look at him fly. Oh my god. Hello, my man.
Okay, so I ran straight into the bush immediately towards what I thought was the island's volcano. I know in survival situations they say water, shelter, food, but when you're faced with a giant volcano like this, you go to the volcano, okay? So that's exactly what I did. Straight to the top.
Oh my god, look at that. There's a rhino down there.
The view was good. I mean, look at this. I was feeling good about this until number 1, I realized that this wasn't the volcano. No, that was the volcano.
Oh, that's the volcano.
And 2, it turns out they say water for a reason because I was a very thirsty man. So straight back down I went.
Oh, my crab man. How's it going? Hello, 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 crabs. Hello, hello, hello. Ah, you pinched me if I get too close. All right.
Ran over to the ocean and got a big old gulp of salt water, you know? Good old salt water. They say it fixes a man's thirst right up. Anyways, there was no time to waste. I had already spent half of my first day of just doing nothing, you know, running up a stupid volcano, and I needed to find shelter. Problem was that I needed a pickaxe, and one of the mods in the pack prevents me from breaking trees, so I had to first gather flint. I got that, and then I needed to get a stick, so boom, I got that too. Put those two together, and I had a flint knife. I used that bad boy to get plant fibers, which I then turned to string, then plus another wood shard, and you know what? I got the hatchet, okay? It took a while, but I got a hatchet. Man can't just break down a tree with his hands anymore, you know? You gotta really work for it. So I did all that, and I got a little bit of wood, but then a big problem. A storm rolled in. And you know what? I was a man who was not prepared for a storm. No, not on my first day I wasn't. The goddamn storm started blowing me around like a plastic bag. I was just being knocked around. I had to really push hard to get into my house. Next thing I know, there's a tornado down on the beach, okay? This thing is swirling around, picking up everything. Look at this. It picked up a crab or something like that, or a shark. Swirling it around in the air. I just sat back in my little dirt hole and watched it all happen. It was, wow. Didn't have a bed, so I just sat there all night. And when the morning came, I was a very hungry man. So the first thing I did was I got out of that shelter and walked out on the beach and took a look at the damage that the tornado had done. There was a bunch of like dead fish and stuff everywhere, which was great for me. So I picked all that stuff up and I killed some crabs and got some crab legs. These guys were everywhere. These little crabs running around. I spent pretty much the entire day getting food and wood because it was the two things that I was going to need the most. The other thing I was going to need was a bed, so I got more plant fibers, converted those bad boys into some string. From the string it became wool, and then from the wool it became a bed, so I could sleep through the night, you know? Day 3, I made a boat. I started to sail, see if I could find anywhere to live. At first I didn't really find anything besides these sharks, you know? You see something like that, it makes a man a little bit nervous. I kept sailing, and eventually I found what could have been a nice spot, but before going further, I made it an iron saber and a shield, because you don't know what's out here, you know? I killed some crabs, and I built an impromptu shelter by like digging a hole underneath the sand, a tree, like dug out the roots or something like that and crawled into there. Wasn't a great shelter, but you know, it would work for now. Okay, the next day, I need more wood, so I went out looking for some, and that's when I saw it. I saw another poacher.
There's another one of these guys, man.
These guys, not good. Not good seeing these guys walk around with their guns. I guess they're just there killing a lot of stuff, you know? Killing all the beautiful wildlife. I mean, let's just look at these little birds right here. So I avoided that guy because I wasn't going to get smoked by one of these guys. And I just spent the rest of the day getting wood. I got a bunch of it, went back to where I was living underneath that tree, and put up a bunch of torches. I didn't want any bad boys walking around this tree at night. Keep me safe underneath the roots. Yeah, but then another storm. Storm rolled in. Another one, okay? So I thought, you know what, maybe if I go to bed, the storm will just pass and I'll be fine. I'll wake up, it'll be a nice clear day. No, that is not what happened at all. That was, no. I woke up to the sound of a tornado touching down, and when I looked outside of the shelter, that tornado was coming right for me.
Oh my god. No, it's from my house.
Look at this fly. This man got sucked away. So I just ran. I ran across the beach, got away from my shelter, and I just waited for the tornado to pass. And after it finally did, I went back and whoa, everything was gone. My shelter was sucked away. My stuff was sucked up. The fly was gone. Everything was gone. No idea where I went. Just sucked 1,000 feet into the sky and launched. So I said, you know what? I'm not staying here. Not a chance in hell. So I got what little I had, walked across the beach, and just left this area to find somewhere else. I ended up settling on this mountain face right here because I thought, you know what, there's not a chance in hell a tornado is going to be able to suck up a mountain, right? So I dug my way in and set up a furnace and started cooking some crab legs. This is where I was going to build. Okay, the next morning I went out and gathered some flint for arrows. I needed a way to protect myself. I made an iron pickaxe and started to briefly mine into the mountain. Okay, day 7. I didn't do much. I explored a little bit and I gathered some wood. I also did a little bit more mining, and look at this. I found this guy in the cave.
What is that? Werewolf.
Yeah, I don't remember adding a werewolf mod in, but I guess there's werewolves on this island now, and that's, yeah, I love that. So I mined all night long, and I got a ton of iron. I was feeling real good about this. I had I had a ton of it, okay? A lot. So I was feeling good, feeling like things were finally coming together, and I walk outside of my shelter, and guess what happens?
Again. Oh my god!
I finally understood what the poachers were. They weren't here hunting animals. They were hunting the ultimate game. Man. Specifically me. These guys were hunting me, and this man right here who's sitting up on top of my house, he laid me right out. Now, you might have noticed that the game was on hardcore, okay? I had every intention on doing this challenge in hardcore, but you know what? I didn't want to start over, and frankly, you know what? I don't care, alright? These guys weren't even supposed to be on the goddamn island, and somehow there were hundreds of them. Everywhere I looked, these guys were walking around. So you know what? Here's what I did. I restored a backup, switched the game mode to survival, destroyed all the stuff that I had on me, and I put my character here, look, locked in a cage. Let's just say the poacher shot me with a tranquilizer dart or something like that, okay? I don't want to see a single goddamn person in the comments saying that this isn't right, okay? Not a single one. In fact, you know what? I want you to write a comment that says, wow, good thing the poacher didn't kill you. You got out of that one barely, okay? Write something like that instead. Okay, I will not die a second time. I promise you I will not die a second time. Impossible. Okay, with that out of the way, so I woke up in this cage, right? Yeah, that's what happened. And through the bars, I could see that there was some animals and cages outside or something, and there's a guard walking around. There was a bed, and I slept in it because I didn't want to run out of this house in the dark and get smoked by a skeleton or anything like that. Okay, so the next day, whoever the idiot is that built this cage, they're stupid, because look at this, the floor's made out of sand. So you know what, I just dug out of there, and I walked over to the front door and looked out the window, and the poacher was gone. That was not intentional. That man was supposed to still be there. This was supposed to be a part where I was gonna, like, fight him, but I guess he despawned, so didn't want to fix it. That's just how it is. So I walked out of the house and went out to the main cages and took a look around, and wow, look at all these animals trapped in cages. Not good. Couldn't leave these guys like this. So you know what I did? I went around and I released all of them, including the shark. Which, you know what? In retrospect, probably wasn't the best idea. I probably killed that shark. Anyways, the poachers had also captured some villagers and put them in this underground cage thing, which sucks for them, but you know what? I'll rescue them later. Okay, so after that, I dug out of the camp and just ran into the jungle as fast as I could to get out of there. Ran straight into a swamp that was full of piranhas.
Oh, they go for me. Oh my god.
Here's what I don't understand. Okay, you know piranhas? These things don't attack people. Most piranhas aren't actually carnivorous. Only a few, only a couple of them are. Only a couple of them are interested in meat. And of those, none of them attack humans. River monsters prove that, okay? So I don't know why these guys were trying to attack me. So it took me all day, but eventually I found my house, and that poacher, I guess, went inside and looted my chest, so all of my stuff was gone. But you know what he didn't take? He did not take my furnace, which was full of all that iron I found, so that was good. I was very, very happy to have that, and I made armor and went to bed. The next day, I went out and I had to resupply yet again, so I got crab legs, wood, and other stuff. Nothing interesting happened at all this day. Day 11. It was similar, except this time I just did it underground. I mined and I got more iron. The next day I spent a ton of time getting flint again for arrows, and I crafted an iron halberd. These things, wow, these things are deadly. Water was becoming an issue. I couldn't venture far. far.